Well, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We have Stephen Whitwell here, our VP of Field Development, who is going to, I think we're going to do a review of our incentives that are being launched in 2023 and keep it open, an open session with questions. But first, I would like to congratulate and welcome some of the step ups in our team. And Stephen, some of these guys are meeting you for the first time. I'm not sure, Tracy, have you? Yeah, you've met Stephen on one of the, no, you haven't. So Tracy Miller is a lady that I was Zoom-bying on the beach at our trip. Stephen, we did yoga first, and I asked the question. She said yes, and came on a couple of the Discover Mores and signed up as a new promoter, and then became our new senior manager. Welcome to the team, Tracy.
Thank you.
And then Jennifer McClellan also became a new senior manager last month. So welcome, Jennifer. Congratulations. And Jennifer is a senior manager under our new Canadian director, Serena Nazarov. Welcome, Serena. So excited for all these amazing things that are happening in our teams. And anybody else have any other step ups or anything that they, we have a new promoter joining us. Sorry, can't forget our new promoter. I saw Justin.
Yes, I'm here. Justin is here.
Are you here? Oh, there you are. There you are. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have to move you on my screen. There you are. Justin is also a brand new promoter that just joined us at the end of December. A new promoter in Cindy Hadley's team. So welcome. So yeah, we've got some pretty exciting things happening here in Canada, and most of us are getting together for our rallies this Saturday, and in 2 weeks we're getting together. Some of us that are local are getting together at Jones this Saturday, and then in 2 weeks getting together in Caledon at my mom's for our wellness session. So really excited. So anyways, I want to welcome you all, and yeah, Stephen, do you want to open it up? And anybody else have any other recognition that you want to? Because I don't want to miss anybody in case I've missed anybody. Anybody else? You want to share good news? Anything in the business, in your business that happened last month? Anybody? We're good. Okay, Stephen, you're on.
Perfect. Hey, congratulations, by the way, on those step ups. And I'm actually going to start there in just a moment. Hey, if we could, if you are unmuted, if you wouldn't mind just muting. Does anyone hear us a little bit of feedback? A little bit.
I can mute everybody. I can mute everybody. I'll mute all, and then you're going to have to unmute yourself now, Steve.
Perfect. Okay, is that better for everyone? Does anyone have any feedback? No. Okay. Perfect. Well, hey, Nana, I think that's a fantastic idea to do I think someone got unmuted again by chance.
Was that Cindy? Hang on, I'll mute Cindy. I'll mute Eulalie.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Perfect. I think it's a great idea to do a quick review of some of the incentives that are happening now going into 2023 and really dive into them. If you have any questions tonight, we will talk about those questions. And then the goal will be from tonight, from like this Zoom moving forward, that you are like 100% clear is my goal on all the incentives, how they work, the purpose behind them, any questions you have, they're addressed, etc. But I do want to start really quick. I do want to start first though by I really want to encourage everyone to be able to step up in 2023, like and rank advance. That would be amazing. And so I put some numbers together yesterday, and not only do I want to see you all rank advance, I want to see you all bring in so many new promoters in 2023 and help them rank advance as well. And so I thought I would put together something that maybe simplify what does it take to step up and rank advance up to the director position. And so I just want to show you this. I can send it to everyone. I can text it to Nat, I can text you and you can send it out to everybody. But I put this together and hopefully this will help break down like what is required in order to really step up or to reach certain ranks or titles in Neo Life. And so I'm going to share my screen here. And I just want to walk through this. And can everyone see this stepping up chart that I've created here? Everyone see that? Okay, perfect. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to put together, I just want to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. That I wanted to put together was breaking down what's required to move through some of the ranks from promoter to manager, manager to senior manager, executive manager to director. And so I started with this though. I wanted to look at what is the average order size of a club member and a promoter in Neo Life. So that being said, like, again, it's going to vary. Everybody that you have order within your business, it's going to vary. Some people are going to place larger orders, some people are going to place smaller orders. But one thing that is very, very consistent and has been for quite some time is that when you take all the orders in North America in Neo Life, the average order is about 120 PV is the average order size of what someone purchases. So I use that as the base. Like, okay, if we know the average order size of someone who purchases is 120 PV, then let's break down how many consumers do you need in your business to step up, to rank advance, or to reach certain titles and or to maintain those titles. And I use the word consumer so that way it encompasses both a customer and a promoter who's purchasing. And so based on the average order size of 120 PV per month or per order, below, what I put together is what is the number of people you need in your business in order to maintain a rank. So if you're not to the manager level, or you're wanting to help someone get to the manager level, it's going to take on average about 5 consumers in their business on a monthly basis. So for managers, on average, they're going to need to have 5 people. That could be 5 customers. That could be a mixture of customers and promoters. That could be a mixture of some being frontline and some being second level. But a manager is going to need about 5 consumers who purchase from them each month on average, based on the average order size. Now, I want to also clarify with this. We know in order to have 5 consumers, we're going to have more than 5 people in our business, because we know that not everybody is going to order every single month, right? That, we're not going to have 100% of everybody who orders is going to, we're not going to have 100% rate of everyone in our business who's going to order that month. So for a manager, they're probably going to need 10, 12, or 15 people total in their business to have 5 consistent monthly consumers, okay? So if someone's wanting to go to the senior manager, and we have some rank advancements, as Natalie mentioned here, that are senior managers, on average, what it's gonna look like is 9 monthly consumers in your business per month. So 9 people per month, promoters or club members, that can be first, second, third level, can be anywhere, but purchasing products per month based on the average order size of 120 PV. Now, again, remember, it's probably going to take 20, 25 people in your whole business to have 9 consistent monthly consumers, right? The executive manager is you're looking to create a business that has 17 monthly consumers to earn that executive manager pay. I also want to highlight real quick senior manager. Think about this for a second. When we look at senior manager and you add up the value of earning 3 for free at the senior manager level, and you add up the value of commissions and bonuses, and now the extra 5% profit, a senior manager is pulling in somewhere between $500 and $700 to $800 in value every month, a mixture of income and free product. That's incredible to have a business with 9 people purchasing in your whole business, and you're making $500 to $700 in value a month with just 9 consumers. I'm telling you right now, there's every business in the world, a traditional business, would give anything if that was the kind of return they got on just 9 people consuming in their business. And then if you go down to the director, if you look at director, it's about 34 people total consuming per month in your business. So what does that mean? You're probably gonna need a business of, 50, 75, 100 people total in the whole organization to consistently have 34 people consuming every month for the director position. But what I love about director is it shows that whole model of, go get yourself 12, 10 to 12 customers yourself, and 3 promoters and help those 3 promoters get their 10 to 12 customers would take care of this in itself. But think about this. For director, you have a business with 34 people in the whole business. That's a mixture of customers and promoters. That's a mixture of first, second, third, fourth level. And that business is going to pay you somewhere between, let's say $1,000 to $2,000 a month of value. Probably $1,000 to $1,500 of actual income, plus you can get free product on top of that. So you're talking $1,000 or $1,500 of income, plus you get another $500 of free product for 34 people. Every brick and mortar store, if they could have that kind of income based on having just 34 people walk into their store every month, they would. Every business that's out there that's a traditional business could not survive if they only had 34 people walk into their store in a month and purchase. And think about that. You can earn up, $15,000, $20,000 a year by just having 34 consistent consumers per month. So I wanted to show you this to break down what it looks like to get to these ranks and to how to help other people get to these ranks, and also to hopefully make it look like, wow, that is not that many people that I have to impact in my business just to get some pretty incredible returns. So I wanted to start there going into 2023. And then, Nada, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump and go into our incentives and just kind of give a quick overview and then open it up for some questions here after that. So with that being said, I'll go to the PowerPoint and I'll share my screen, and I will start with the 3 and 30 program. So just an FYI, as you know, we had in 2022 and prior a program called the Achievers Club. And so what we've done is we phased out the Achievers Club starting in 2023. And so that program has stopped. And you'll still see the Achievers Club currently in your back office, because we're working on getting all of the back office programming updated. And that's going to take just a few days or weeks to get all of that back end coding set. And then you're going to see everything that used to say Achievers Club will say 3 and 30. So just want you to know, you're going to have a personal tracker in your back office for your 3 and 30. You'll be able to go back and see the months of how many you achieved, and you'll be able to see your team members and if they're achieving 3 and 30s as well. So please know that there will be reporting on the 3 and 30 program. But what we wanted to do with the 3 and 30 program is bring attention and focus to what we believe is probably one of the #1 most important activities you can do in your business. And that's personal frontline prospecting and recruiting, helping new people get started. But we also wanted to make it a balance that it's not just getting customers started, but there's also the importance and the focus of also getting promoters started. I always say, like, I'm going to use this illustration here in your business. If you've got a goal specifically to get to director and beyond, and that's your goal that's out in front of you, let me kind of give you an analogy of why it's so important to recruit both club members and promoters. If you are just recruiting promoters, imagine you're in a canoe and you've got an oar, and if you've got one oar on your right side, and all you're doing is rowing on that right side with that right oar, what's going to happen to that canoe? It's going to move, but where is it going to move? It's just going to move in a circle, and it's not really going to go anywhere. What do you need to do in order for the canoe to move forward? You've got to row both oars, the right and the left side, so you can go forward. What I see happen too often in this business is people just get customers, and that's like rowing with one oar. Your boat's moving in the water, but you're just kind of moving in a circle. Why? The attrition's going to get you. Unless you have the ability to bring in 10 to 15 customers every single month, month after month, it's probably you're going to need to create some duplication by getting some other promoters started and helping get into their warm market and get their customers going. So that's why we added the promoter piece in here. But here's how the 3 and 30 works. It's very simple in a month. Personally sponsor frontline at least 3 new people in a sales month, with at least one of the 3 being a new promoter. So it could be 2 club members and a promoter. It could be 2 promoters and a club member. It could be 3 promoters. If you have just 3 club members and no promoters, then that would not count as a 3 and 30. You would have to get a promoter in that month to achieve a 3 and 30. Please note, though, that upgrades do count. So if you have this large customer base and you follow up and you upgrade them, upgrades do count. So someone upgrades from a club member to a promoter, that will count as one of your new promoters in the 3 and 30. So it's not like you always have to have a brand new promoter. It could just be an upgrade from a club member to a promoter because someone got results and now wants to pursue sharing this and earning an income. And there's no limit to the number of 3 and 30s you can achieve in a month. So, someone could achieve three and 30s in a month, right? Someone could do this, 5 times if they wanted to. And every time you earn it, you're going to get $10 in free product and free product dollars. And again, it's going to be accumulated on a monthly basis. And every time you do it in a sales month, you're going to get $10 in free product dollars. And there's no limit to the number of times you can do that and the number of rewards that you can get. So I'm going to pause there for a second and just stop sharing my screen and see if there's any questions on 3 and 30 before I move on to the next piece. Oh, Nat, I think you're muted.
I think for the new promoters, I guess with Justin, probably maybe the language is a little different. And Tracy, I think you're understanding it now. This is your almost your 3rd month now, so I think it's pretty clear. Does that sound okay with you guys so far? I know some of us old timers, we know what 3 and 30 is. We know what sponsoring is and club members and promoters.
Good.
And I think your explanation.
I may have a question.
Oh yes, go ahead, Justin.
So my question is, if you are a director and then you are losing consumers, people are not, like how they have to be consuming, and then you lose a few, do you now move from being a director down to the next hierarchy?
Good question, Justin. So I'm going to answer this, Justin or Stephen, but then you make sure, let me know if I'm answering it properly, because I want to make sure I know how to answer these questions for my team. So I think once you have a title of a director, you will always keep your title, okay? And you get paid at 4,000 PV as a director. But if as a director that month you only do 2,000 PV, your income will just drop to a little bit lower. So you'll still be a direct title director. You just will get paid at whatever you do in that month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So and that's the key to being consistent, and that's why that 3 and 30 that Stephen's sharing with us tonight, like Steve, you're going to learn on Saturday some of the tips from some of the directors and Emerald directors and Rubies in the business, Justin, that as long as you keep adding a few people every single month, you'll lose the odd person, but the more you gain, it'll replace those people that drop off. So I was a consistent director in my business, and I sponsored 3 and 30 every single month for the first couple of years. But the first year they had that program in place 33 years ago, and you're going to hear that story at the rally. But 3 and 30 was something I focused on, and I stayed consistent. And then I continue to step up in the business. If you just sit back after you become director and you just sit back and do nothing, you might be able to maintain that for maybe 3 or 4 months. But sometimes people will just stop for a few months and then come back. And I have people from 33 years ago that stopped and now they're coming back, right? So you just never know where people are.
So they come back as directors, and not that they come back as
they'll come back as customers. You'll lose some customers.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I get what you mean. All right.
To get to your points and your volume, yes. And you know what? I always tell people, don't focus on that. Just focus on what's ahead. Focus on sharing and caring. And if you're adding people continually to your business, and you get to director and you keep adding people, you will maintain that director size business. Okay, Stephen, anything to add to that?
No, just a couple things I'll say is Justin, just to help with maybe the terminology. That's a great point, Nata. You can think of 3 and 30 as simple as this. The program is simply based on just helping new people get started. The more new people you get started, the better, and the more likelihood you're going to achieve the 3 and 30. So if you're solely focused on getting new people started in Neolife, by reaching out and, prospecting and recruiting, you're going to be set. It's simply just helping new people get started on product in Neolife or join you in the business.
Okay.
One thing I'll say about the comp plan, that's what you were asking about the director thing. You can think of it this way. Nata, you said it perfectly. Our title, the title manager, senior manager, executive manager, and director the title is static, which means once you get that title, you got that title. But the payouts and how you get paid is dynamic. So we have a dynamic compensation plan, which means, in a month, it depends on the production that you have. If you've got a senior manager production, you get paid at senior manager. If you, even though you got a director title, if you're production senior manager, you get a senior manager pay. If you're, so it's dynamic. So if you're a senior manager now, but you go do director next month, then you get director pay. So the pay is dynamic. The title will be static.
Will be static. I see. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah.
Thank you. I've never heard those terms before. Dynamic and static. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And then, okay. Anything else on 3 and 30 before we go on to the next one? Perfect. And the reason I wanted to spend some time there, and I'll go back to my screen, is just because the 3 and 30 does impact the next one that we're going to talk about, which is the Impact Summit incentive. And so I just want to highlight this. Like, one, hopefully everyone on here is going to be coming to San Antonio, Texas in July for Impact Summit, for our North America, largest, most anticipated event of the year. And it's over July 20th through 23rd, that weekend. It's going to be an incredible event. And one thing I love about Neolife is that we put an incentive out there to reward you for those that come and as you grow your business in the process. So the Impact Summit incentive for this year started January the 4th, so the January sales month, and it goes for 5 months this year. So it goes for January, February, March, April, and May is the Impact Summit incentive. And there's 2 parts to it. Part 1 is based on what we just covered, the 3 and 30. So between January and May, those 5 months, if you achieve 3 and 30 3 times during that incentive period, and you could achieve it all in 1 month, you could achieve it spread out over 5 months, but you just got to achieve 3 and 30 3 times in the incentive period. Again, it could be in 1 month or it could be over multiple months, but you're going to earn an Impact Summit exclusive swag item at the event. And we don't know what that's going to be yet. We're still going to look into that. It could be an exclusive t-shirt. It could be a hat. It could be a bag. It could be a pullover. Maybe we'll do a poll. Maybe we'll do a poll of all the winners and see what the poll is of the winners and what they want. Now, that's if you achieve it 3 times. If you achieve it 1 more time, so you achieve it a total of 4 times during the incentive period, 3 and 30. So if you achieve 4 3 and 30s, again, you could do all 4 in 1 month, or you could spread it out over those 5 months of January through May. You're also going to earn an invitation to the star reception. And let me tell you what the star reception is. It's a intimate, exclusive, like cocktail and hors d'oeuvre reception before the dinner and gala and party that night on Saturday evening. And all of Neolife's $500,000 businesses and above are there. They automatically get an invite. So if anyone who has a business in Neolife that produces $500,000 or more of sales in a year, that's how large their business is, they're at the star reception along with all of the new world team step-ups. Plus, this year, what we're adding is an invitation that if you achieve 3 and 30 4 times during the incentive period, you can get an invite to the star reception. Our SAB members who are going to come and speak at Impact Summit, we're going to have, by the way, I think we're going to have 4 SAB members again at this Impact Summit. They'll be more than likely, most of them will be at the star reception. Kendra Brassfield will be at the star reception. If Jerry Brassfield is able to join us, he'll be at the star reception. So it's an awesome event. Then if you achieve 3 and 30, an additional time from there until you achieve 3 and 30 5 times during the incentive period. So you could do it 5 in 1 month, or you could do 1 over the 5 months, however, whatever. But if you achieve 3 and 30 5 times, you're also going to get, immediately following the launch of our new product in July, you're at Impact Summit, you're going to get your hands on that new product. We're going to have a new product gift basket for you where you're going to get your hands on the new product before anybody else. So that's part 1 of the Impact Summit incentive based on 3 and 30s. Now, second part of this is based on cash and room nights for consistency and stepping up. But just please note this: if you want to earn any of these, any of the cash in the room nights, you do have to achieve 3 and 30 at least once during the incentive period. That kind of just unlocks this part 2 for you. So you just got to achieve it at least once. That's just, please note that. So if you did, if no matter what happens to your rank or step up, if you didn't achieve 3 and 30 at least once, then you wouldn't be eligible for the cash and the room night. So you got to do that once. But then based on the chart you can see here, at the executive manager level, if you're an executive manager and you achieve executive manager, you're currently an executive manager and you achieve executive manager 4 to 5 months, you get a $25 gift card, Impact Summit cash when you're there. If you're an executive manager and you do it 5 out of 5 months, so you just basically, your title is executive manager and you're just consistent for 5 months, you're going to get a $50 gift card while you're in Impact Summit incentive, just for being consistent and maintaining, not even having to step up. If you're a director going into January and through this month, if you do director 3 out of 5 months, you get a $25 cash gift card while you're there. If you do 4 out of 5 months, you get 50. If you do 5 out of 5 months of director, you get $75. Okay, now you can see how the chart works. I'm not gonna go through the whole chart, but you can see it's based on the out of 5 months, the consistency at title. But here's where I wanted to camp out on. If you step up any of the months, January, February, March, April, or May, in those 5 months, if you step up to one of these ranks during that, you automatically get paid 5 out of 5 months at that title. So if that makes sense, so let's say currently you're a director, and if you step up, like, so if you're currently a director, but you step up to Emerald Director any of the months from January, February, March, April, or May, you ought, even if you did it in May, or let's say you step up, even if you stepped up in May, you automatically, even though you only achieved an Emerald Director that you stepped up that very last month, you get paid 5 out of 5 months. If you step up to Executive Manager in May and you only hit Executive Manager 1 out of 5 months, but you stepped up, you get paid as if you got hit it 5 out of 5 months. So if you step up, you're going to be paid at your new title as if you hit it 5 out of 5 months. Is that clear? Because I think that's such a huge benefit for stepping up. And look at that. For Emerald Director, go pop off right now, Emerald Director 3 months, and boom, $100 in cash and a free room night, which is awesome. So please note this also. If anyone steps up to Sapphire Director and or above, you get an extra room night on top of everything else that you're going to earn. Which is awesome. And then for Diamond Directors and above, they have an ability as well to earn free airfare. So I'm going to pause for a second, see if there's any questions on the Impact Summit incentive before I move on to the next one.
I'm just a little confused when you say you get paid. Like, how does that income work when you step up? Or I was a little confused with that last part, Stephen. When you get paid at that title, like, do you go back and add the income as if they were executive managers the months that they weren't when they step up?
Oh, great question. So I'm going to pull this back up. No, it's not income. So it's not your income. It's just this chart right here, and it's just for the Impact Summit incentive. So just for this incentive, let's just say right now I'm currently a manager. Let's say I'm a manager right now. And let's say in January, I hit manager. And in February, I hit manager. But then in March, I step up to executive manager. Does that make sense? I step up to executive manager. Because I stepped up during this incentive period, January through May, and I stepped up in March, I automatically get the highest level of executive manager payout here, which is $50 cash.
Okay, gotcha. It's on the chart. Okay, now I understand.
Yeah. So so basically you can just think of, if you step up to any of these titles during this incentive period, you just automatically move to the highest reward of your new title.
Okay.
I have a question, Stephen. If you step up in February and you didn't do it again the rest of the months, you went back down. Say you stepped up as senior manager and you didn't keep it up for the next few months.
You're good. Let me see here. I'm just going to make sure I want to read this in case that we put something in there that I don't remember, but I think you're good. We would just see it like, oh, you stepped up in February to, let's say, director, then we'd automatically pay you that $75 for 5 out of 5 months, even if you didn't hit director again.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Nope. That's exactly what it is.
Stephen, I have a question. If you are stepping up, but according to this chart, it starts only from executive managers. So manager or senior managers don't count though. Is that what you're saying? Because according to this chart, it starts from executive manager and up.
That is correct.
Okay.
Right. So senior manager doesn't matter. You have to be executive at least.
Yep. If you just step, either be consistent starting at executive manager and above, or step up to executive manager or above. Yes.
And then here you say unlock cash and room nights when you achieve 3 and 30 at least one time during the incentive period. But that one time does not, I don't understand that because it doesn't really figure, because when you look at the chart, according to what you're saying here, from executive manager, it starts from 3 out of so many months and whatever. So technically that one time I don't get that during the incentive period. Does not apply, does it?
No, perfect. That's a great question. I'm going to pull the chart again. And so let's do this as an example. Let's take a director for an example. Let's say somebody is a director title going into January. And let's say they achieve director consistently 5 out of 5 months, January, February, March, April, and May. They hit director every month for all 5 months of the incentive period. As you can see on the chart, that would be 5 out of 5 months at title.
75.
But they would not get the $75. Here's why. If they didn't achieve at least 3 and 30 one time. The 3 and 30 one time unlocks your ability to get paid from this chart, if that makes sense.
I see. You have to have the 3 and 30. Okay.
Yeah. So it can be any time. As long as they do it one time, then they can get paid for consistency.
I see. Okay. Now I get it. Thank you.
Or stepping up, either way. So you can kind of think of it like, I don't know if you've ever been to a casino and you're playing like
no,
poker or
never.
something. Never. You've been to a casino and you're playing poker or something like that. That's your ante to get into the game. To think of it that way. Like that 3 and 30, that 1, 3 and 30 is kind of like, that's your ante to get in. If you don't do the 3 and 30 at least one time during the incentive period, you can't even play the game for the other stuff.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about Stephen, the question is it payout every month or at the end of the period?
At the end of the period.
Okay.
I have a question about the 3 and 30, and I think you've said it, and I have it straight, Stephen. So you don't necessarily have to have a 3 and 30 each month. You can do 4 3 and 30s in January, and technically, I mean, you want to keep building and keep going, but technically, you could take the rest of the months off because you have 4 of them, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to do that. You want to keep building, but okay, so. And there isn't any, they don't go together. For example, if I were to register 4 promoters in January and no members, and then 8 members in February, I can't blend them together for my 3 and 30.
Right. Yeah.
That's in the month. Okay.
Yeah. Because we have to look at it. We have to do some time period, so we do it based on the sales month. Yeah, yes. And that's one thing one thing we wanted to mention is, and I should have started with this, I work from the mentality and it's a funny, Jerry Brassfield had a great quote, the incentives here are not the grand prize of Neolife. So one thing I want to encourage you is don't base or build or focus your whole business around incentives. The incentives are kind of like the icing on the cake. The real prize here is the compensation plan. And building a business and stepping up to the ranks of world team and beyond and all those kinds of things. Because unfortunately, no matter the incentive, every incentive that I've ever seen has some limitations to it because you just can't build the perfect incentive. And that, Shelly, you just nailed it. Like that's one of the things, like, over a 2-month period, you did 4 and 8, it just happened. So, but here's the beautiful part. The one thing that there aren't limitations to, and it's the perfect incentive and the perfect indicator is the base comp plan that you get paid out on. So the perfect incentive is our compensation plan. And then we try to design incentives that are hopefully motivating, encouraging, and can kind of help focus us and guide us towards, growing into the comp plan. But that's a great point, Shelley, that you mentioned here that, yeah, there are going to be limitations to these incentives that we cover, even to the 3 and 30, you know. But if you're focused on, you know, for 3 and 30, if you use that as a gauge to focus on personally sponsoring and getting new people started, and then, but at the end of the day, if you're looking at stepping up, that's the best thing for your business. That's the best gauge.
One of the big guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I, you know, even for myself, Stephen, I mean, because I'm full time in the business, right? So the income for me is like, it's important, it's critical, right? So, you know, and I'm still sponsoring, I'm still introducing people, and the incentive is definitely inspiring me. But it's really the outcome of my bonus check at the end of the month is really what, you know, what I'm looking for as the grand prize, right? So yeah, so just thank you for making that clear, because I don't want people to get disappointed, or if you're signing up 4 members or 5 members every month, my goodness, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to recognize you. You might not get that little incentive that Neolife has to offer, but you're still going to grow your business. Okay. The thing with the promoter, and I think I understand why Neolife has done this, because when you develop a promoter, not only are you sharing, but you have those promoters sharing, and the volume will grow much faster. So your income will grow much faster if you have people on your team that's sharing along with you as well. So that's why it's just a great balance to have both. Anybody else? That was a great question, Shelley.
Mine
Okay,
maybe isn't under this category, but when you say for like the Neoship, and it has to be monthly, it has to be a health solution, is just the Pro Vitality Pack a health solution, or does it have to be the breakfast solution or the weight solution?
On Neoship, you can have anything on Neoship to get anything on Neoship to get the discount, right? The 20%.
The 20%.
Anything on Neoship, yeah, anything on Neoship. The health packs, the Vitality Pack, our breakfast solution, and our shape up solution. And for you, Tracy, it's a weight loss pack. Those health packs are part of the 3 for free. So if you have 3 people on the Neoship with those packs, that's how you earn your free product.
Okay.
But if you have somebody just on Vita Squares, Vita Guard, and a protein shake, as long as they're on Neoship with one thing, they could just have one thing on Neoship, and they will qualify for that wholesale price, or the 20%.
Okay, I was thinking it had to be the breakfast solution or the weight solution. Like, it had to be a health solution. It couldn't just be one thing.
Just for you to get it free. Whatever you're trying to get free, you need to have 3, or if you want 2 health solutions for free, then you have to have 6 people on Neoship with those health packs to get 2 free. Okay. But for them to get their discount, they just have to have one. They could have one Vita Squares or one Formula 4 on Neoship, and they get wholesale. Oh, they get 20% off.
20% off.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to jump to our next one, which actually really I'm most excited about. Actually, no, it's not. Sorry. I'm excited about this one. This is not the one I'm most excited about. I'm sorry. This one is exciting because it is Neolife Vacations, Destination Hawaii incentive. And so let me start with this. For most, what I love about our incentive trips, like, and the next one is the Destination Hawaii incentive, you know, next year in October. It's a you do, you go, which is kind of awesome because you're not competing against anybody. And just want you to know, like, FYI, like, that's a huge thing that the company opens it up, that if you do, you get to go. You're just competing with yourself. Most of the incentives trips that I've put together and been a part of a team putting them together, it's always a limited spot. Like, you're fighting to be in the top 30, and you may or may not go no matter how great you do if 30 people do better than you, right? So it's not like you're competing against other people. Here, you're just competing against yourself, and it's a you do, you go. And I love that. So the simple thing about the Destination Hawaii incentive is, the first thing is just stepping up to Sapphire Director and getting to the World Team. That's it. You get there, then if you step up this year and make it to the world team, which is not the easiest thing in the world. I'm not saying like, oh, it's just going to happen. Like, it's a huge accomplishment. But what I love about it is you're just competing against yourself, and it's a you do, you go. And if you step up to Sapphire Director and you're a world team member, then you have the opportunity and you're eligible for the Neolife Vacations Destination Hawaii incentive trip. And by the way, there will be a reward for stepping up to Sapphire Director with travel and accommodations. Don't worry about that. So I'm not going to camp out here tonight because I want to move to the next one, if that's okay. You can see here that the first part of the Destination Hawaii incentive, you got to first step up to Sapphire Director. But once you do that, then it's based on 3 and 32 we talked about. So I'm going to skip this because I want to spend the remaining time that we do have on this one, which is our new Fast Start Step Up bonus. And I want to talk about this in two fronts. I want to talk about it first for the new promoter. We wanted to reward and give an opportunity as new promoters are launching and growing their business to put more income in their pockets fast. So one way we did that was by reducing the club member savings from 15 and 25% to 10 and 20%. That's going to put more income into everyone's pockets, but it's also going to put more income in the pockets of new promoters as well. But we also wanted to add to that a bonus opportunity that had a sense of urgency. There was a deadline to it. So we put together the Fast Start Step Up bonus. So when a new promoter gets off to a fast start by stepping up in their business and sponsoring new promoters as well, other new promoters, they can earn up to $175 in their first full 3 months as a promoter. So here's how it works. And let's say I get started in January as a brand new promoter. Let's say I got started today. I'm going to use myself as an example. Today is what, January 10th. I got started today. I have my first full 3 months in this business as a new promoter. That means I get the rest of January, and I get all of February, March, and April. So you get your first full 3 months. So you get the month you enroll, plus the next 3 months, because it's your first full 3 months. That's the only way we can make it fair, is that way we know every new promoter is going to have at least 3 months to get to do it. And in those 3 months, if I step up to manager, which is 500 QPV in a month. So if I step up to manager and have at least one personal promoter start, that I recruited one personal promoter, I'm going to get a $25 bonus on top of my retail profits, club member profits, and the sales volume bonus. If I, in those first full 3 months, step up to senior manager, and I have to have 2 personal frontline promoter starts as well with that, I'm going to get an additional $50 for a total of $75 bonus at that point. Again, on top of your retail profits, on top of your club member profits, on top of your sales volume bonus, an additional $50 there for a total of $75. And if you step up to executive manager as a new promoter in your first full 3 months, and you have at least 3 personal frontline promoter starts as well, you're going to get an additional $100. So now for a total of $175 on top of your, retail profits, club member profits, and your sales volume bonus, which kind of works out basically to an extra about 5 or 6% commission on top of everything else, which is kind of great. So here's what I want to note about a couple of these things. You can earn all 3 of these in 1 month. So let's say it's January and I got started today, and tomorrow I sponsored 3 promoters tomorrow and I achieved 2,000 in QPV. I hit the executive manager rank. I'd get paid out all $175 my very first month because I achieved executive manager. I stepped up to executive manager and I had 3 promoter starts. You can earn it in your first month, or you can earn it over the course of the 3 months. Note that the personal frontline promoter starts are cumulative. So I could have, 1 promoter start my first month, another promoter start my second month, and another promoter start my third month, and achieve executive manager in that third month. And we would add up the number of promoters based on the first. So you don't have to have 3 in that. Does that make sense? You don't have to have all 3 in that single month that you hit executive manager. You don't have to do that. We're going to add them up over that time period. But let me say this though. Let's say this happens. Let's say that you achieve senior manager. Let's say I got started today and I achieve senior manager volume tomorrow. I have 1,000 in QPV, all right? So I stepped up to senior manager in my first month, but I only personally sponsored 1 promoter. Well, I'm just going to earn the manager bonus there. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because I stepped up to senior manager, but I didn't have the promoter starts to get the senior manager step up bonus yet. But I will get the manager bonus because I obviously accomplished manager and I had one promoter start. So that's something to know. And then let me also mention this. This is something that's really critical. This could happen. Okay. Let's say I achieve executive manager in my very first month with 0 promoter starts, or let's say 0 to make it easy, 0 promoter starts. So I have the executive manager step up, but I have 0 promoter starts. And then let's say the last month I get 3 promoter starts, but I don't hit executive manager. I hit manager. I'm not going to get paid the $175 because in the month that you must qualify at the title for the bonus you're receiving in that month, if that makes sense. You got to qualify at that title or higher. So I can't get paid out on an executive manager bonus my 3rd month if I don't also hit executive manager in that 3rd month. Does that one make sense? That one's where it gets a little complicated. So if it makes sense, like if you hit executive manager your 1st month and you don't have all the promoter starts, if you accumulate the promoter starts but don't hit, achieve executive manager that month that you get the promoter starts, then you're not going to get paid the executive. So you must be qualified at title for the bonus you're receiving in that month. So I hope that one makes sense. And so I'm going to stop there and just, the most important thing for January, February, and March, we open this up to everybody, not just new promoters. You can think of it as everybody's a rookie in Neo Life. Over our 65-year history, every promoter is a rookie in Neo Life. It doesn't matter when you got started. You could have gotten started 5 minutes ago. You could have gotten started 5 months ago. You could have gotten started 5 years ago. You could have gotten started 50 years ago in Neo Life. It doesn't matter. January, February, and March of 2023, these 3 months, everyone is a rookie to start the year, which means everyone has an opportunity to earn a $175 bonus on top of this. Now, when I say everyone's a rookie, what I mean by that is everyone who is at the current title rank of promoter, manager, and senior manager. Obviously, if someone's already stepped up to executive manager or beyond, they're not eligible for the fast start step up bonus because there is no fast start step up bonus, for director and above. There's other step ups for them, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But with that being said, is you could have a manager on your team who's been a manager for 5 years, and then they get going this month and they step up to senior manager and executive manager. They can earn the senior manager and the executive manager bonus. You could have a senior manager who's been a senior manager for months or years, and they go and they step up to executive manager during the first full 3 months of the year with the necessary promoter starts. They can earn a $100 bonus on top of everything else that they're doing. So I want to mention that. And then the reason, so then for everyone who's an executive manager or director, we do have for 2023, we do have a first-time director step-up in bonus, and we have a first-time step-up Emerald director bonus as well. So let me say this: if in order to earn the first, your director step-up bonus, it's not a fast start because there's no time limit to this. That's why it's not a fast start. The fast start, there's a time limit to it, right? Your first full 3 months. The director step-up incentive, it's not a fast start, and it can happen in anybody's journey. So if someone steps up to director, and then they hit it a second time within 6 months of hitting it. So let's just say, for example, somebody on here maybe achieved director in December.
So Serena did.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, exactly. So for Serena, here's a great example. She achieved director in December. So if she achieves director again, and within the next 6 months, she's going to get paid out on the director step-up incentive. She could do it again in January. She could do it in February, March, April, but it's got to be within 6 months of the first time you hit director. You're going to get paid out on the director step-up bonus, which is a $200 in free products that you'll receive. Now, here's the real cool one. This is the new one. This is the new one, which we are so excited about, is the Emerald director step-up bonus. Let's say, Serena's a great example because she's on here. She hit director for the first time in December. So let's say she hits director again in January. Okay, she hit it twice then. So that's going to unlock the director step up bonus of $200 in free product. But then let's say she hits it again in February. So she hits it 3 times in a row. That's Emerald Director. She's going to get an Emerald Director step up bonus. And for 2023, the Emerald Director step up bonus is a $300 cash bonus in the month that you step up to Emerald Director. So
$300 US.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, I should say that. Yes. $300 US. You mentioned that. Yes. All these bonuses numbers that you've seen are all US based bonus numbers. So it'll be even more in Canadian dollars.
You got it. We get excited about that, Stephen.
So I know we only have a few minutes left, but I really wanted to camp out on the fast start step up bonus because there's something powerful when you can get money into pockets fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now our new senior managers and are you excited about your bonus check coming? Serena, what did you say? You shared with me, my income doubled. Hey?
I literally went from November to December. It doubled. It really doubled. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
Yeah. And Jennifer, are you excited? Yeah, I think Jennifer's excited too.
Yes, I am. Yes, especially with all the direct deposit stuff not working out first. So I'm still waiting for my first.
Oh, great. So they're going to add up all those other bonuses that you made the last couple of months and tack it on to this check and then boom, deposit it in your account. Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, sorry. Well, no, I was just going to say, maybe while we have Stephen on here, I was just curious, when do we know when that sales volume bonus comes in each month? Like, how is it, like, are we able to know sort of what day or what date of the month to expect that?
Do you mean as far as you're going to receive it in your bank account? Like
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like how the direct deposits work, et cetera.
It seems to be different like each month. So I just wasn't sure how it was figured out.
No, I think, Nada, you may know this even better than I do. And I think like even like this month, it was a day earlier for some reason.
No, it was late. It's longer because the way the month, because we extended January month or December month end into January.
That's
so what
right.
happens, Serena, is when we close our month, you guys close your month, let's say on the 2nd, then we have our world team close on the 3rd. And then by the time they close everything, they go through all the reviews, they go make sure all the numbers are right. Like they spend a whole day, making sure that people didn't make a mistake and you're not going to miss out on a car bonus. And then when that closes, it takes a while. So usually it's been averaging around the 8th or 9th of the month. That's been kind of like around the time frame, but because of January holiday, I'm thinking it should be in there tonight or tomorrow. It's a bit of a two-day delay.
It should be, and I heard that today. I heard that maybe what they did this is they moved up the normal day of how many days afterwards that it usually gets processed and paid and direct deposited a day earlier in this month because it was such a long month that it was, so I think it happened like something like it was processed yesterday and it should be direct deposit in your account today or tomorrow is what I believe.
It was deposited.
I got mine today.
Oh, you did? Okay. And I think it depends on the bank too. So it's probably you got yours today, Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay. So it should be there. I'm sure when you go on online banking, it'll be there today or tomorrow then. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in the US, so it might be a little faster. Yeah. The US might be a little quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't got it yet.
Okay. So probably by tomorrow then, Serena.
And then
okay, no, I was just curious. Thank you.
I was gonna say real quick now, isn't it typically more like the 8th of the month for some reason that date sticks out to me? If it's a normal month, there's not an extended close or anything like that. Like this month was different because we went all the way to January 3rd into the December sales month. But is that typically right? Like the 8th is there some kind of magical date?
8th is the normal, is like around that time frame normally, but because of the January, because of the holiday, it's a couple of days longer. Yes. Awesome. Well, listen, I know we've got some guests coming on at 8 o'clock, and then we've got some guests coming on to see you, Stephen, at 9 o'clock for your debt free, getting people out of debt, which is awesome. So we're looking forward to seeing that presentation. So I want to thank you for taking the time for helping us. I think seeing this again, it's my third time. It's even more clear, and having those, can you send me those PowerPoint slides that you just did?
Absolutely.
If we ever do a team meeting, then we'll have those on hand for future. That'd be wonderful. So thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you all for joining us.
And Fido Defense is back in Canada.
Yes,
I was meant to say that at the very beginning.
yes,
Fido
yeah.
Defense
No,
is
they
back.
all know. That's been communicated. That went out ASAP.
Perfect.
Thank you again, guys. Thank you all for joining us, and congratulations on all the step ups.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.